What is up? This is Ape Rider. Welcome to the channel. Just gonna reset my trip because I just gassed up. Closest garage. There's a storm coming, but it's headed north, so it's not gonna intercept my direction of travel, so we should be good. But welcome folks, this is Ape Rider, back with you guys with another video. I am excited. Let's talk about something that's pretty common these days, and that's going to be common rider mistakes. Stay tuned. Alright, common rider mistakes. I wanted to go over this because I've seen it way too many times, and at a it's very common. Like, I see it on a daily, so I'm just trying to make sure you guys are well equipped with the information so you can have fun and at the same time be safe. So stay tuned. I'm going to be going over the main things that I've seen as a rider. I've got over 60,000 miles of rider experience, and I've been riding since 2017. So, yep. Alright, let's dive right into it. Okay, the very first thing I would mention is incorrect. The bike is not like meant for you. You know, it's not the right bike. So hold on one second, I got Siri playing. Alright, going back to what I was saying. So pretty much this is targeted for the very first common mistake is pretty much targeted at the beginner riders. So a lot of beginner motorcycle riders jump on the biggest and baddest motorcycle they can get, and I'm talking about the leader bikes. So it's a very touchy subject. It just depends where you're coming from. Me personally, I started on a 600. The ZX6R for me, honestly, I would say the first 2 weeks were pretty scary because my very first bike, actually, going back, I've been on and off riding since 2017, but I really got into it in 2019, and that's when I got the ZX6R. But it's been a while since I've rode, so that to me was a lot of bike. The 600 class, especially the Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R, the Super Sport, that thing's got a lot of power, and I'm a bigger statute, and you gotta watch out for those people. Yeah, the ZX6R was a lot of bike, and I'm honestly glad I started on the 600, because when I jumped into the leader class, and my first leader bike was the Aprilia, it was actually 1100, so 100 more cc's, and it was 217 brake horsepower out of the crate. That's a lot of power. Jumping from the Kawasaki to the Aprilia, it was definitely a scary experience for the first 2 weeks. I was riding in like rain mode just to take it easy, and I slowly bumped it up. But what I'm trying to get at is, if you're not mature enough, you shouldn't be on a bike, because any motorcycle if you play with fire, you're gonna burn yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going around town and just weaving in and out of traffic, not being very careful, it's gonna get to you. That's my point. You could start on 1000cc if you want. But do so with caution. Definitely take it easy. Like put it on rain mode or something. And just make sure you have the right mindset. Nothing wrong with starting on a liter bike, but again, just know that it's a lot less forgiving than a 600. So I'm gonna end it with that. Alright. The biggest thing that gets riders in trouble is target fixation. And how do you mitigate that? So you mitigate it by taking proper rider's course. I've taken the advanced, so I've taken 2 courses, the basic rider's course and the advanced rider's course, so BRC2. And they talk about in depth about target fixation. So essentially what that is you literally go where you look. For instance, in a turn, most accidents that are just the biker itself happen during a turn, and typically that's due to poor rider's experience, poor training or lack of training, and then which involves a combination of speed and target fixation. Obviously, the faster you go, the less time you react, and by the time you realize it that you're coming too hot, the very first thing you do is panic brake, and you grab the front brake. You either lock it up if you don't have ABS, or you just plow into the ditch or whatever it may be. Wow, there's a lot of just really bad drivers here. So yeah, that's number 2, definitely on the list, target fixation. Alright, another mistake I commonly see is riders riding right in the middle of the road like this. Now, here's the problem with that. Number 1, you're not going to see what's coming at you because the car in front of you will be going over the obstacle that's coming its way. So, but especially if you're tailgating, that's pretty much a direct line. It's going to be a direct hit to you. So whatever they go over, you're going to plow right into it. Number 2, all the oil, you see that black stuff? All that oil from those cars during the day, especially when it's raining, that's where it's going to be at. So that's where the most slick part of the road is. So definitely ride either to the right or to the left of the road. Same thing too when you're pulling up to a car, and I learned this the hard way. I pulled up directly behind a pickup truck, and this was at a stop sign, and this dude, out of no reason at all, puts it in reverse and backs into me and drives off. So my front fender is gone, like my front fairing is gone. Thankfully it wasn't a big impact, so I was okay, but keep some distance between you and the vehicle in front of you, especially when you're pulling up to them or just riding in general. Give it some space in case these things pop up. Same thing too, blind spots. Cars can't see you, so make sure you're not riding directly beside them. And again, they teach you all this stuff in basic rider's course, so highly recommend you take those courses. Alright, we're gonna merge onto the freeway. So the good thing with these leader bikes, man, if you need to get out of a sticky situation, it's instant. Like you got instant power and you're out of there. I recommend wearing all motorcycle gear. Like me, right now I'm wearing a vest. I've got like 3 layers and I'm wearing a vest. So that's my big pointers. Alright, one of the very last things I wanted to close it out with, for newer riders who are trying to get into group rides, be very careful. There's a lot of shenanigans that goes on, so definitely know your group, number one. And number two, if it's a big group, you either want to stay, personally I stay at the very back, because there's nobody else behind you that can take you out. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shenanigans that goes on, especially with sport bikers. I'm just gonna be frank. Definitely have fun, but just be wary of that, especially if you're a brand new rider. I recommend you stay away from group rides until you master your very bike, like everything, emergency procedures, like what you need to do in case there's an obstacle avoidance, everything, like in a turn. Make sure you know how to take turns. And finally, I want to close it up with, and this is very very important right here, so listen up if you're falling asleep. Ride your ride. Do not push your limits ever. So if you got folks around you pushing the limits, let them. Go dude, go dude. Yeah, let them ride their ride. I mean, it's not a competition, like you're trying to get back in one piece. So those are my common rider, those are some of the things I've observed from other riders that I did want to address to everybody here. Hopefully you found that useful. And obviously there's a balance, you know, you want to have fun and not be paranoid, but at the same time there's limits and thresholds to that fun, so you make it back in one piece. With that being said, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. More to follow. Again, this is Ape Rider. Tune in, hit that sub, drop a like. I hate when cars start moving in a stop sign. It's like, I'm unsure if they've seen me or whatnot, but again, drop a like, hit that sub, man. I post a lot of these vids. But yeah, the storm's pushing north right now, so I'm good. That's why I'm just trying to get my ride in. I've been busy all week just studying. I'm in school right now. Not college, by the way. I'm doing other stuff.